And it means that exercise for me, it becomes what most people don't realize about exercise is that it is a form of stressor. It's a stressor on the body. And a lot of the time the narrative is, of course, exercise is very good for you. It's great for your mental well-being. It's great for your physical well-being. And that is true to an extent. And then when sport starts to be pushed to the extreme, it is actually very dangerous and harmful. And that's when it becomes the sole reason for why you're getting up in the day and getting on with your day. Like for me, I only felt the day was productive when I'd done some kind of sport. And then when I couldn't do sport anymore because I got so injured because of relative energy deficiency, I put all of that into overworking. But it didn't feel like I was overworking because I'd overtrained for so long that overworking just felt like the normal to kind of chuck in. It filled the gap so I didn't have to think about the fact that I couldn't do sport, and it made me a lot less sad. So it was a coping mechanism because I couldn't train, but it also meant, because with relative energy deficiency in sport, it's not just about how much you eat, it's when you eat. So if you're eating, or if you're leaving big gaps in the day without your fuel, that's a stressor on the body. If you're doing fasted training, stressor on the body for both men and women. If you're on certain diets, or where there is a form of constantly thinking about food and food preoccupation, then that is a stressor on the body. And so you realize that then the overworking is still a stressor because your mind is so stressed. And when the mind is stressed, the blood, and you're underfueled, and that constant burnout and stress cycle means that the blood is not flowing into the amygdala at the bottom of the brain. And so it's not sending those signals from the brain down to the other parts of your body system to work as they should. And that's why for a lot of women or girls, they might start to see hormonal changes in their periods. So they might start to become lighter, they might stop, they might get heavier. But for a lot of women, it is that their period stopped. For me, it was that my period stopped because my body wasn't safe. And it's all around that safety aspect. And then for men, it's exactly the same. You know, you could be in a state of absolute chronic burnout. I know people who have ended up in the hospital, and it's treated as not the root cause, which is the burnout, the stress, the underfueling, the overtraining, the constant mental fatigue just isn't really incorporated. And we've talked a lot about mental health, and there's so much more conversation around mental health, but it's almost like that link between mental health and the physical effects of bad mental health almost, I don't think, have been married up completely correctly yet.